Good morning, everyone. How are we doing today? What is it? August 3rd, Monday, August 3rd. This is your daily financial news. Obviously, if you're new to the channel, know that we do this every day. I shoot for about 7:30 in the morning Pacific time. There's usually one day a week I'm either 30 minutes early or 30 minutes late. But hey, I do what I can for you, so you can count on it at 7:30. A lot of stuff going on today. We are going to start where we probably should. It is going to be around the stimulus. This isn't going to be a stimulus video like other YouTubers out there. We're just going to be talking about why it's important to get this right. When you really think about what's going on in the economy, how we were able to get through the first half of the year, it's because we took care of kind of the people most impacted by this health crisis, right? People making less than $40,000 a year. Yes, I understand the argument that many people were making more money sitting on the couch, but we essentially told them to stay home. And in order to, not have huge lines or riots or other things, we had to make sure that these individuals could keep paying their bills, keep feeding themselves, and they were not in any additional financial strain that caused by some outside event. That's kind of what's on the table, right? We built the bridge halfway, but unfortunately we've got probably 6 more months to go. So really there's a debate around the $600 plus up. One side wants 200, one side wants 600. It does seem that both parties want to send another $1,200 check per each adult, up to $3,400 per family. I'm just wondering, what would happen I'm not sure why they agree on that, but they don't agree on the unemployment. If the unemployment is the cost, i.e. we're going to be adding a lot to the deficit, which is something to be considered, no doubt, why don't we not send the 1,200, but then extend the unemployment? And this is why I think it's at least something to be considered. Lots of people who are employed will take the 1,200 or the 2,400 or the 3,400 or whatever they get and save that money. If the government sends out checks and all we do is save them, that doesn't help the economy. That doesn't stimulate. That's not currency, right? That's not movement. But we've already proven, whether we like it or not, that the $600 to the unemployed gets spent. That's an argument that I don't see playing out. I really don't understand why both sides want to send checks to everyone, or at least everyone below a threshold, when in reality, a lot of that money is just going to be saved. It doesn't help. It doesn't help the economy. Savings doesn't help the economy. Spending does. So I haven't heard anybody offer this up yet, but hey, why don't we cancel the 1,200 or whatever it is, or cut it in half, or whatever we have to do to that to pay for the unemployment? I do not like the idea of people sitting on the couch and making more money. I think that is an argument that is out there. And it's certainly a reality, and I appreciate that, but this is not the time, right? So if you are interested in balancing a budget or not adding as much or whatever it is, let's remember what a consumer-based economy is, and that is when people are paying their bills, buying food, keeping it going. So that's really what this stimulus needs to be. It needs to be the second half of the bridge to get this injured economy to where we really can get back to kicking butt. It's not about who can send the most money out and things of that nature. So it will be interesting, because again, if we don't take care of that bottom rung, that will trickle up eventually, and banks will be hurt, landlords will be hurt, consumer-based or retail will be hurt, food will be hurt. It'll get pretty ugly pretty fast. The other thing going on is the whole Microsoft Tic Tac thing. As we know, I think it was Saturday, I think, might have been Friday. The president came out and said, "Hey, I'm going to ban this thing." Seemingly out of nowhere, I assume it was already going on. Microsoft said, "Hey, we'll buy it." Microsoft CEO spoke with the president over the weekend. It looks like they are trying to get something done. This will be interesting. There's already pushback from China. Obviously, the U.S. and China relationship is not all that good. But the Chinese government is pushing back on ByteDance, the owner of that TikTok, the application, basically saying some pretty mean things like, "Why are you selling out? This is a crown jewel. Why give it to the U.S.?" All that stuff. So the whole China-U.S. relationship is having impact in the technology space as well. So do me a favor. If you're still watching this, hit the thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, hit subscribed. I'm going to try to be better at asking for that, so I apologize. I don't do that very often. But I've been told over and over, ask my viewers to hit the thumbs up and ask them to hit subscribe and notifications so you see, you get to know when these financial news are streaming live. I like to do live because I don't edit my videos anyway, so why record them and then post them? I'll just do everything live, so it's easier for me and hopefully it's okay for you. So again, TikTok is something to watch. The NASDAQ cranking again. A lot of that is because Microsoft opened up. NASDAQ opened at a record high. I think Microsoft, last I saw, was up 4% on this news. So it is interesting. Got a lot of news on San Francisco. If you've been following me for any length of time, you know that I believe there'll be winners and losers in the real estate market over the next year and a half. And San Francisco is going to be one of the largest losers. New York will probably be first, but I think San Francisco will be second. Active listings in San Francisco jumped 100%. Jumped 100%. Over 100%. I think it was 111%. In addition, rentals in San Francisco, 2 months free rent. 2 months free rent now is not uncommon. There was a question that just popped up I think we should talk about is, do I think a bill will be passed this week? I'm gonna peel that apart. I think there will be an agreement this week. I think it will come very late in the week, but I don't think the bill will be passed. So that's a little bit of kind of splitting hairs there. I think the bill gets passed next week, and I forget, when did they go on sabbatical? Or actually, I think they're on summer break next week. So maybe it has to get done this week, right? Doesn't the Senate go on summer recess August 8th? Oh, that's so scary. Oh, that's so scary. All right, so back to San Francisco again. Active listings up, not good. Prices were still up 2%, which I think is this whole artificial thing working through the system. San Francisco is going to be in trouble. We have another bankruptcy in the retail space. This is essentially Men's Warehouse. Parent company is Lord and Taylor. They filed for bankruptcy over the weekend. Again, not a lot of people going to work. Don't need those suits and whatnot. Did you see who they blamed for the Twitter hack? Looks like it's a 17-year-old. Not named because he's not an adult, but a 17-year-old masterminded the Twitter hack. And when they, I'm going to say arrested him. I'm not sure if they actually arrested him or if he still is the accused. I'm not sure how that stands. But he has $3 million in Bitcoin. That's interesting. 17-year-old mastermind's got $3 million in Bitcoin. I don't know. That's impressive to me. He did steal it, or at least, well, actually, I don't know that. I'm gonna assume he stole most of it, but yeah, not good. Something else that was interesting today. Google is acquiring a 6.6% interest in ADP, the security company. It's spending $450 million to do that. Basically, Google wants to create a better synergy between ADP, the security system, and Nest, their Google product. So I think it's a very interesting investment. When I look at this for $450 million, 6.6%, it'll be interesting to see if this is something going forward. No, I mean ADP. Oh no, I'm sorry, ADT. Sorry, you're right, ADT. Yes, ADP is a payroll company. My bad. ADT. Thank you. Gosh, good catch. You guys are awesome. Yeah, so ADT, not ADP. My mistake. Something else I saw, again, what do we do on this channel? We track the consumer in cost to capital. Cost to capital, 15-year mortgage, fixed rate. I just saw a print under 2%. That may have happened before, but I am not aware of it. I've been doing a lot of talk about 30-year money under 3. I guess it makes sense that 15-year is now under 2. I mean, how low can these things go? I mean, really? Man, crazy. Looks like I did some reading about Pinterest over the weekend. Pinterest was a big winner Friday. It looks like they took a lot of the advertising revenue that was supposed to go to Facebook in July. Pinterest had a great July. I did some more reading about the impact of the Facebook boycott in July because it wasn't in Facebook's numbers. It looks like there's at least 1,000 companies that took part in the boycott officially, and others ratcheted back, not officially a part of it. But it was only to the tune of about $30 million. And what they did is they went out and looked at what those 1,000 companies spent last July and what they spent this July, and it was a $30 million impact. I guess it's interesting, but that's not going to move the needle on Facebook, I don't think. So, and a lot of the Pinterest advertising came from packaged goods companies, based on the article. So Pinterest had a blowout number. A lot of that thanks to the boycott. It will be interesting to see if the advertisers stay with Pinterest or if they move over to back to Facebook. That will be interesting. HSBC, the biggest bank in the UK, with actually a specific focus on Asia, came out with a less than good earnings report. They actually put $13 billion aside for losses. The largest I remember was Wells Fargo in Q2, and I think that was 6.6. So HSBC in a single quarter doubled that. So these bad loans are happening are around the world. This is not a U.S. only phenomenon, and one might argue that Asia could see a disproportionate size of bad debt. Again, 13 billion single quarter. That's probably not done. Banks are going to have very tough earnings for the next several quarters for sure. Something I saw also is it looks like the owners of 7-Eleven, the convenience store, are just about to spend $21 billion buying, what is it called? Speedway gas stations from Marathon Petroleum. So it is interesting. Again, they're really, really extending those convenience stores. One thing I got to tell you is when I was growing up, 7-Eleven was that little candy store down the block. But if you really want to see 7-Elevens, go to Taiwan. At least that's where I saw them. They're everywhere. I mean, they're like Starbucks in Taiwan. The 7-Eleven convenience store is everywhere. And they actually have really good food. It's crazy. When you go to 7-Eleven in the U.S., you see those hot dogs on there for like weeks on end. In Taiwan, man, there's like almost Michelin stars. It's crazy. Pretty crazy. And I don't know if you know this, but something I remember from 13 years ago, 13, was Jim Cramer yelling at the Federal Reserve and his famous quote of, "They know nothing." You say what you want about Jim Cramer, but he got angry on national television and he went off. It was fun to watch. I just saw a clip of it kind of going back. And why is it meaningful? Because that was right when the crisis was really gaining steam. That they know nothing. And I'm certain it wasn't his talk that did that, but you saw a change in how the Fed was reacting to it. One thing that's different this time than last time is the Fed was slow last time. It was really slow. It was, some would argue, 6 or 9 months slow to react to the crisis. Others may argue that the Fed was too quick this time. Don't know. But you're definitely seeing a different reaction. And I just thought it was funny. 13 years ago, right? So if you're a senior in high school, you were 5 years old and probably don't know, but you might want to go look that up, because that was that August day, August 3rd, 13 years ago was it was a day to watch. So it was pretty scary 13 years ago. So in the end, the last thing I would close on is I finally found a list of companies who have said work from home through the end of to the end of 2021. That can't be right. Anyways, at least for another 6 months, so the beginning of 2021. And these are mainly companies in California. And it's why I think we're going to see that continued rush out of the city and whatnot. So real quick, it's Google, Universal Music, Warner Music, Sony Music, Amazon Corporate, Viacom, Group 9 Media, Indeed, Facebook, Twitter, Square, Slack, Shopify, and Zillow. And the reason I brought that list up is a couple of those are work from home forever. Others are kind of leaning that direction. This is more reasons why San Francisco has record active listings, why you are seeing 2 months of rent free in San Francisco. It's just the rush out of the cities is happening, and there will be winners. San Francisco is a loser, but there will be winners. So this is coming. All right, everybody, take care of yourself. Remember, thumbs up. We got 43 people watching, 17 thumbs up currently. And if you like these daily updates, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification button, because we do it each and every day. Bye.